The laughter in the barracks. The military base of the Orion Empire floated in deep space, far from any peaceful world. It was huge and made of black metal. Ships came and went every hour. Inside the base, thousands of alien soldiers trained every day to become the strongest warriors in the galaxy. In one large barracks hall, a group of young soldiers sat together after training. Their armor was placed beside them. Some were cleaning their weapons. Others were checking their battle scores on small glowing screens. They were proud, loud, and full of confidence. One of them, a tall soldier named Rax, held an old data tablet in his hand. He laughed loudly. "Listen to this," he said. "Ancient galactic record. Humans are unpredictable. Humans are dangerous." The others burst into laughter. "Dangerous?" another soldier said. "They are from a weak planet with water and soft air." "They breathe oxygen," someone added. "That alone tells you they are fragile." Rax scrolled down the file. "It says here that one full battle fleet disappeared near a human system many years ago." "Disappeared?" a soldier mocked. "Maybe their ships were too old. Or maybe they got scared by their own shadows," another said. More laughter filled the room. To them, humans were only stories. Old rumors told by retired officers. No official war record clearly explained what happened in that lost mission. High Command had sealed the files. That only made the young soldiers joke even more. "If humans were so strong," one soldier said proudly, "why are they not ruling the galaxy?" "Exactly," Rax replied. "If they were real warriors, we would have conquered them already." At that moment, the large metal doors at the end of the barracks opened slowly. The laughter did not stop at first. Heavy footsteps echoed across the floor. Step, step, step. The sound was slow and steady. One by one, the soldiers turned their heads. An older figure walked into the hall. He wore dark armor covered in marks and deep scratches. His cape was torn at the edge. A long scar crossed one side of his face. His eyes were calm, but they held something heavy inside them. It was General Kor. He was one of the most decorated war heroes in the Orion Empire. He had fought in 3 galactic wars. He had survived battles where entire armies had fallen. The room went silent. No one laughed anymore. General Kor walked past them without speaking. His steps were not loud, but they felt heavy in the quiet room. Rax tried to act brave. He did not like silence. "General," Rax said with a small smile, "we were just reading about humans. The old myths." Some soldiers looked nervous. Others waited to see what would happen. General Kor stopped walking. The silence grew deeper. Slowly, he turned around. His eyes rested on Rax. "Myths?" the general asked in a low voice. Rax swallowed but forced a grin. "Yes, sir. Stories about humans being dangerous. About a lost fleet." A few soldiers gave small nervous laughs, but they quickly stopped. General Kor walked closer. "Do you find that amusing?" he asked calmly. Rax straightened his back. "With respect, sir, if humans were truly a threat, we would have seen proof." The general stared at him for a long moment. Then he spoke words that changed the mood of the entire room. "I was there." No one moved. The air felt heavy. "I was part of that fleet," General Kor continued. "The fleet that never returned." The young soldiers looked at each other. That mission was a mystery. No one talked about it openly. No survivor reports were public. Many believed it was only a failed experiment or a navigation accident. Rax lowered the data tablet slowly. "You fought humans?" he asked quietly. General Kor's voice remained steady. "We did not fight them," he said. "Not at first." The soldiers leaned forward without realizing it. "We entered their system," the general continued. "Our scans showed no advanced defenses. No large war fleets. No heavy weapons in orbit." "That sounds weak," one soldier whispered. General Kor's eyes moved toward him. "That is what we thought." The general began walking slowly across the room as he spoke. The first sign was silence. Our long-range sensors stopped working. Then communication between ships began to fail. Not destroyed, just blocked. The soldiers were no longer smiling. Ships at the edge of our formation vanished from scanners, he said. No explosion. No debris. Rax felt his throat grow dry. What happened to them? He asked. General Kor stopped walking again. We never found them. The room was completely still. The humans sent one message, the general said softly. Only one. He looked at every young soldier in the room before speaking again. They said, leave. The word echoed in the quiet hall. And we laughed, General Kor said. His eyes darkened slightly. That was our mistake. No one in the barracks laughed anymore. The myths suddenly did not sound funny. They sounded like warnings. The fleet that vanished. The young soldiers in the barracks did not move. No one whispered. No one laughed. General Kor stood in the center of the room, and his voice felt heavier than his armor. We received the human message, he continued. It was simple. Just one word. Leave. Rax felt a strange chill. And you did not leave, he asked carefully. General Kor looked at him for a long moment. We were the Orion Empire, he said. We had never been ordered away from any system. We believed no species could stand against us. The general began walking again, slowly. Our admiral sent a reply. He demanded surrender. He gave them 1 hour. The soldiers listened closely. What did the humans say? One of them asked quietly. They said nothing, General Kor answered. The silence in the barracks grew deep. After 30 minutes, our outer ships reported strange objects moving in space, the general continued. They were small, very small, too small to be fighters, too small to be missiles. Drones, someone guessed. That is what we thought, the general replied. We targeted them with point-defense weapons. He paused. The weapons did not lock. The soldiers frowned. Our systems showed errors, the general said. Target lost. Signal disrupted. Tracking failure. Rax felt his hands grow cold. Then the first ship disappeared. Destroyed? Another soldier asked. General Kor shook his head slowly. No explosion. No energy spike. It was simply gone. The young soldiers stared at him. Our scanners showed empty space where the ship had been, he continued. It was as if it had never existed. The room felt smaller. Our admiral ordered full combat formation. Shields at maximum. Weapons ready. The general's voice remained calm, but something painful hid inside it. That is when the humans truly began. A low murmur moved through the room. Our communication channels were flooded, he said. Not with threats. Not with insults. With noise. Noise? Rax asked. Music, the general replied. The soldiers blinked in confusion. Yes, General Kor said. Loud human music. It broke our signal clarity. It disrupted command codes. It was not random. It was designed. Some soldiers exchanged worried looks. Then gravity shifted. The general continued. What do you mean? Someone asked. Our ships were pulled out of formation, he explained. Not by a planet. Not by a star. Something else. He looked directly at Rax. The small objects we saw were not drones. They were gravity anchors. Human machines. The word machines sounded strange. They bent space around our fleet, he said. They separated us. Cut us apart. The soldiers felt fear rising in their chests. One by one, ships vanished. General Kor continued. Some were pulled into space distortions. Some lost power completely. Others were disabled without a single shot fired. Rax whispered, Did you fight back? We tried, the general said. We fired at empty space. We launched missiles at targets that were no longer there. He paused. And then the human ships appeared. The room seemed to freeze. They were not large, he said. Not compared to our war cruisers. But they moved in ways we had never seen. How? One soldier asked. They did not follow straight paths, General Kor replied. They changed direction instantly. They used gravity like a weapon and a shield. The soldiers imagined it, and it terrified them. Our strongest battleship fired its main cannon, the general said. The human ship did not dodge. The young soldiers leaned forward. The beam bent. Silence. It curved away, he explained, as if space itself refused to let it hit. No one breathed. The humans disabled our flagship in seconds, he continued. Not destroyed. Disabled. Why? Rax asked softly. General Kor's eyes darkened again. Because they did not want war, he said. They wanted us gone. The weight of that sentence pressed down on everyone. Our admiral finally ordered retreat, the general said. But by then, it was too late. His voice lowered slightly. Out of 300 ships, only one escaped. The room felt cold. That ship, he said quietly, was mine. The young soldiers stared at him. We jumped to hyperspace with damaged engines and failing shields, he continued. Half my crew was injured. We had no idea how we survived. Rax swallowed. Why did they let you leave? He asked. General Kor looked toward the far wall. They sent one last message before we escaped. He turned back to the soldiers. They said, remember. The word hung in the air like a warning. We were not defeated because we were weak, General Kor said firmly. We were defeated because we were arrogant. No one argued. Humans are not loud conquerors, he continued. They do not shout about their strength. They do not expand blindly. He looked at every soldier in the room. But if you mistake their patience for fear, he did not finish the sentence. He did not need to. The young soldiers understood. The laughter from earlier felt foolish now. Rax slowly closed the data tablet in his hand. The stories were not myths. They were survival lessons. And for the first time, the young warriors of the Orion Empire began to understand why some records were sealed. Because the truth was not something to laugh at. It was something to fear. The ground war they never expected. The barracks remained silent long after General Kor finished speaking about the fleet. The young soldiers felt fear but also confusion. If humans are so strong in space, Rax asked carefully, why did they not destroy you completely? General Kor looked at him with steady eyes. Because space was only the warning, he said. The real lesson came later. The soldiers exchanged uneasy glances. Our empire did not accept defeat, the general continued. The High Council believed the loss was caused by technical failure, not human strength. That was a mistake, one soldier whispered. Yes, General Kor said. It was. He walked toward the center of the room again. 6 months after the fleet returned, we sent a smaller force. Not to Earth. To one of their outer colonies. Why there? Rax asked. We thought it would be weak, the general replied. A farming world. Limited defenses. Easy victory. The young soldiers listened closely. We landed at dawn, he said. Our scanners showed small cities, simple factories, and wide-open fields. That sounds harmless, one soldier said. That is what we believed, General Kor answered. He folded his hands behind his back. Our ground troops marched toward the main settlement. No heavy resistance. No visible army. Rax felt a small sense of relief. Then what happened, he asked. The wind changed, the general said. The soldiers looked confused. There were no warships above us, he explained. No giant weapons. Just open land. He paused. Then the ground exploded. Several soldiers jumped slightly. Hidden charges, he continued. Not random mines. Controlled detonations. They cut our formation in half. Rax felt his heartbeat rise. Snipers opened fire from distant hills, General Kor said. Precise shots. Always at officers. Always at communication units. They targeted leadership first, someone asked. Yes, the general replied. Humans fight smart. The young soldiers were no longer sitting relaxed. Every one of them leaned forward. Our armor was strong, he said. Our shields could block plasma rounds. But the human weapons were different. How? Rax asked. They used solid projectiles, the general answered. High-speed metal rounds. The soldiers blinked in surprise. Primitive, one said. So we thought, General Kor replied. He shook his head slightly. Their bullets were designed to pierce our shield frequency. Each impact weakened our systems. The room grew quiet again. They did not rush us, he continued. They did not charge in anger. They waited. They watched. Rax imagined invisible eyes on every hill. Our troops tried to regroup, the general said. But the humans kept shifting positions. They moved through forests and rocks like they were part of the land. They knew their world, a soldier said softly. Yes, General Kor replied. And they used it. He stopped walking and looked at them carefully. Then something unexpected happened. What? Rax asked. Civilians appeared. The soldiers looked shocked. Unarmed, one asked. No, the general said calmly. Armed. The word felt heavy. Farmers. Workers. Teachers, he continued. They fought beside the soldiers. That is against most battle laws, someone muttered. Humans have one rule, General Kor said. Protect their home. The soldiers could feel the meaning behind those words. Our forces pushed forward anyway, he said. We believed superior numbers would win. He paused. They did not. Rax swallowed. Supply lines were cut, the general explained. Communication towers were sabotaged. Our vehicles malfunctioned. Malfunctioned? Rax asked. Human engineers hacked our systems from inside the city, he said, while their soldiers fought outside. The young warriors now understood something important. Humans did not fight in one way. They fought in many ways at once. Our commander ordered heavy bombardment. General Kor continued. But you said it was a farming world, Rax said quietly. It was, the general replied. But the humans had already evacuated most civilians. How? Someone asked. They knew we were coming before we arrived. Silence. They predicted our strategy, he said. They prepared for every step. Rax felt respect growing inside him. After 3 days of fighting, our troops were exhausted, General Kor said. Not because of damage alone, but because of pressure, Rax guessed. Yes, the general nodded. Constant pressure. No rest. No safe zone. The humans attacked at night, during storms, during moments of silence. They never allowed fear to fade, he said. The soldiers felt that fear even now. On the 4th day, General Kor continued, a human commander contacted us. He wanted surrender? Rax asked. No, the general said. He offered us a chance to leave. The room grew very still. Why would they offer that? One soldier asked. Because we had lost, General Kor answered. His voice did not rise. It did not need to. Our forces were surrounded, he said. Not by a large army, but by a united world. He looked at each soldier carefully. Humans do not rely only on technology. They rely on each other. No one spoke. They fight for land, yes, the general said. But more than that, they fight for family, for memory, for home. Rax slowly stood. Sir, he said quietly, if humans are so strong, why do they not rule the galaxy? General Kor gave a small, serious smile. Because they do not want to, he said. The soldiers felt something shift inside them. Strength without conquest. Power without cruelty. That, the general said softly, is what makes them truly dangerous. And for the first time, the young warriors understood that the myths were not exaggerations. They were warnings. And the war hero standing before them was living proof. The secret behind human strength. The barracks were no longer filled with doubt. The young soldiers now sat in complete silence, their earlier pride gone. General Kor could see the change in their faces. Rax spoke carefully. If humans are so powerful in space and on the ground, what is their weakness? General Kor did not answer right away. That is the wrong question, he finally said. The soldiers looked confused. You are searching for a weakness, the general continued. But humans are not strong because they have no weakness. He paused. They are strong because they understand their weakness. The words were simple, but heavy. What do you mean? One soldier asked. General Kor walked slowly across the room. During the battle on the farming world, he said, we captured a human soldier. The soldiers shifted in their seats. He was injured. His armor was damaged. His weapon destroyed. Rax leaned forward. Did he resist? Yes, the general replied calmly. Even while wounded. He stopped near the window. Our medics treated his injuries. Not out of kindness. We wanted information. The soldiers understood. But he did not speak, the general said. Not about plans. Not about codes. Was he trained not to talk? Someone asked. Yes, Kor said. But that was not the real reason. The room waited. He believed help was coming. A few soldiers exchanged looks. You mean reinforcements? Rax asked. No, the general said. He believed his people would not leave him behind. The room grew quiet again. Humans do not abandon their own, Kor continued. That belief gives them strength. He turned back toward the soldiers. On the second night, something happened. What? Rax asked. Our camp lost power, the general replied. Completely. The soldiers stiffened. No attack alarms. No warning. Just darkness. He let the silence stretch. Within minutes, human soldiers entered the camp. They rescued him? One asked. Yes, Kor said. They did not fire wildly. They did not waste energy. They moved with purpose. Rax felt a strange respect. They reached the prisoner tent, the general said. Neutralized guards without killing them. Without killing? Rax repeated. Yes, Kor said. They could have slaughtered us in the dark. They did not. The soldiers felt something shift again. They rescued their injured soldier, Kor continued. And before leaving, they restored our power. The room fell completely silent. They restored your power? A young warrior whispered. Yes, the general said. Why would they help the enemy? Someone asked. Because they did not see us as monsters, Kor answered. They saw us as mistaken. The idea felt strange and uncomfortable. Our commander later received a message, the general said. What did it say? Rax asked. It said, Go home. We do not want war. The soldiers stared at the floor. So humans fight hard, Rax said slowly, but they do not fight for fun. Correct, Kor replied. He moved back to the center of the room. Humans study everything, he said. They study enemies. They study themselves. He looked directly at Rax. They know fear. They know pain. They know failure. The word failure caught attention. They have lost wars in their history, Kor explained. They have destroyed their own cities in past conflicts. The soldiers looked surprised. And they learned from it, the general said firmly. They turned their mistakes into lessons. He raised his hand slightly. Most species hide their failures. Humans examine them. The room remained silent, but the soldiers were thinking deeply now. That is why their technology grows quickly, Kor continued. That is why their strategies change fast. Rax nodded slowly. They are not perfect, he said. No, Kor replied. But they improve. The general took a slow breath. When we retreated from the farming world, humans did not chase us. They could have, a soldier muttered. Yes, Kor said. But they chose not to. Why? Rax asked. Because they had already won, Kor answered. The young warriors understood something important. Victory for humans was not about destruction. It was about protection. They defend, the general said quietly. And when they defend, they become unstoppable. Rax stood up slowly. Sir, he said, if the council orders another attack on Earth, what will happen? General Kor looked at him with steady eyes. This time, he said, humans will not send a warning. The weight of those words pressed down on everyone. They were patient before, he continued. They offered us a chance to leave. He paused. But patience has limits. The soldiers could almost feel the future shifting. Humans are not legends, Kor said firmly. They are not myths. He looked at each young warrior one by one. They are a people who survived their own darkness. The room stayed silent. And any species that survives itself, he finished, is far more dangerous than one that only conquers others. Rax lowered his head slightly. The laughter from days ago now felt foolish. The stories they mocked were not exaggerations. They were warnings written in history. And General Kor, decorated war hero of the Orion Empire, had not come to scare them. He had come to prepare them. Because the next decision their leaders made would decide the fate of more than just one world. And for the first time, the young soldiers understood that the most terrifying truth about humans was not their weapons. It was their will. The truth that changed everything. The young soldiers did not speak after General Kor finished. The air in the barracks felt heavy. No one laughed anymore. No one called humans weak. Rax slowly stood again. "Sir," he said carefully, "why are you telling us this now?" General Kor looked at him for a long moment. "Because the council has made a decision," he replied. The room froze. "They are preparing another fleet." A low murmur spread across the soldiers. "They believe enough time has passed," Kor continued. "They believe humans have grown soft." Rax felt anger and fear mix inside him. "And you?" he asked. "I know they are wrong," the general answered. Silence returned. "Our spies report that humans have not expanded their territory," Kor said. "They have not built new empires." "That sounds peaceful," one soldier said. "Yes," Kor replied. "But they have built something else." "What?" Rax asked. "Defense networks," Kor answered. "All around their space." The soldiers exchanged worried looks. "They have shared technology with nearby systems," the general continued. "They have formed alliances." "So they are preparing," Rax said quietly. "Yes," Kor replied. "Not for conquest. For survival." He walked slowly between the rows of seats. "Humans do not forget," he said. "They remember who attacks them." The room felt colder. "Do they hate us?" one young soldier asked softly. General Kor paused before answering. "No," he said. "But they are cautious." He stopped in front of Rax. "The new fleet will be larger than the last," Kor continued. "Stronger weapons. Improved shields. But humans will be ready," Rax said. "Yes," Kor replied. He looked toward the door, as if seeing something far away. "There is something else you must understand," he said. The soldiers listened closely. "When we retreated from the farming world, I received one final message." Rax's eyes widened. "Another warning?" "No," Kor said. "An invitation." The soldiers looked confused. "Invitation to what?" someone asked. "To talk," the general replied. The word felt strange in a story about war. "They offered peace talks." Rax asked. "Yes," Kor said. "Not surrender. Not demands. Just conversation." The room grew quiet again. "And what did the council say?" Rax asked. "They refused," Kor answered. The young soldiers felt frustration. "Why?" one whispered. "Because pride is louder than reason," Kor said calmly. He returned to the center of the room. "Humans are not monsters," he continued. "They are not perfect heroes either." He looked at each soldier carefully. "They are people." The simple word carried weight. "They laugh. They argue. They make mistakes," he said. "But when danger comes, they stand together." Rax thought about the rescued prisoner, about the restored power, about the offered peace. "They could have destroyed your ship in space," Rax said. "Yes," Kor replied. "They could have wiped out your camp in the dark." "Yes." "They could have chased you after the battle." "Yes." "But they didn't," Rax said slowly. "No," the general answered. Silence settled again. "They showed restraint," Kor said. "And restraint is a choice." The soldiers understood. Power with control was more dangerous than wild aggression. "So what will you do, sir?" Rax asked. General Kor straightened. "I have submitted my report to the council," he said. "I recommended peace." "And if they ignore you?" a soldier asked. The general's eyes hardened slightly. "Then I will not lead the fleet." The room went completely silent. "You would refuse?" Rax asked. "Yes," Kor said simply. "I will not send more young soldiers to die because of pride." The words hit hard. "You think we would lose again?" one asked quietly. General Kor shook his head. "No," he said. "This time, we would not lose." The soldiers looked confused. "What do you mean?" Rax asked. "This time," Kor continued, "humans would not stop at defense." The weight of that sentence pressed down on everyone. "If we attack again," he said, "we will show them that peace is impossible." The soldiers felt fear rise again. "And if humans decide they must end the threat completely," Kor let the thought hang. No one wanted to imagine it. Rax felt something change inside him. The stories were no longer entertainment. They were warnings for survival. "Sir," he said carefully, "what can we do?" General Kor looked at the young warriors. "Learn," he replied. "Understand them. Respect them." He paused. "Strength is not just power. It is wisdom." The soldiers nodded slowly. Outside the barracks, stars filled the night sky. Somewhere beyond those stars was Earth, a world that had been called weak, a world that had been called myth. But now, the truth was clear. Humans were not legends made to scare young soldiers. They were survivors of their own violent history. They were builders who turned mistakes into strength. They were warriors who fought hard but offered peace. And if pushed too far, they would become something far more dangerous. Rax looked at General Kor with new understanding. The terrifying truth was not that humans were unstoppable. It was that they did not want to fight. And if a species that powerful was forced to fight without restraint, then the galaxy would learn why some legends are not meant to be tested. The young soldiers left the barracks quietly that night. They no longer laughed at human myths. Because now they knew. The myths were not stories of monsters. They were stories of mercy. And mercy, once lost, does not always return.